Hey everyone, what's up? It's John from the Big Apple Film Festival. So on June 16th, we have our web series and music video expo coming up. So as that approaches, we want to talk about some of the web series that are currently out online, as well as on the web series festival circuit. And many of these have been made basically from scratch, and they've been able to build and develop an audience over the last year or so. So let me just name the series I'm talking about today. One of them is called Playdates Anonymous. Another one is called Ephemera, and the other one's called Troubled Creek. So Playdates Anonymous is a really funny concept. It's very relatable. It's about its main character. Her name is Leah, and she was a workaholic for many years. And for her first two kids, she worked a lot, so she couldn't really get involved in the whole playdate world. And now she's on her third baby, and she decides to make a commitment that this time she's going to be a part of the playdate community. So she basically enters this group where she's surrounded by all these other moms who are these really funny, quirky characters. And there's also a therapist who's kind of like the head of the group, who's trying to help guide all these moms in raising their children and these play dates. And really, it's really funny. It's a really funny concept, and what's really great about it is that it's definitely relatable. So I think one of the reasons why they've been so successful in building their audience is because they have a concept that a lot of moms can relate to. A lot of moms who are at home with their kids and go to these play dates and do all these kind of things. They meet very interesting and very unique and very comical kind of people, and it creates quite a bit of humor. So this is a really funny concept. I strongly recommend it. It's called Playdates Anonymous. Another one is called Ephemera. And this is a whole different concept. So this is a documentary series about historical events that have happened over the years that are not all that widely recognized. So when we look at the history books and we look at all of these sort of events in history that have been major turning points, for the most part, most of the books out there are written about the more famous instances in history and events in history, whereas this series focuses primarily on stories and events that are not as widely recognized. And it's told mostly through people who witnessed them or people who have researched them. It's shown mostly through documents and photos. It's primarily, it's visual storytelling. Some examples is there's one episode about an unknown man who's been buried under an oak tree, the site of New York's worst disaster before 9/11. A house built to conjure dead composers. So these are all sort of interesting concepts that most people don't know much about. And it's sort of a new take on history, events that we're really not all that familiar with. So this is a really great concept. It's hosted by Brandon Alvis. Brandon is a historian, and he has been researching historical events most of his life. And so this is something that, is a real passion project for Brandon, and definitely check it out. Ephemera, hosted by Brandon Alvis. And the last one is called Troubled Creek. Trouble Creek. And this is a series that takes place in a small town. It's a mystery. Human bones are found, and the local sheriff is trying to figure out who they belong to. And a lot of different characters come in and out. It's a 7-episode series on YouTube. But I think what was really helpful in building this audience was that they surrounded themselves with a large cast and crew who are very well-established people who have been working in the world of television and now web series for quite a number of years. So it's directed and created by Stacey Black and Shea Butler. So Stacey is she directed numerous TV series over the years, including the reboot of MacGyver, Major Crimes, NCIS, New Orleans, Stitchers, The Closer. She also created a feature-length music documentary called Send My Mail to Nashville. She's directed a series of music videos, short films, and things of that nature. So she's been around for she's done quite a bit of work over the years. Shea Butler is also an award-winning filmmaker. Her short films, The Trial of Ben Barry and The Way Station, have screened at various festivals and received many accolades. She She directed a segment of an independent feature film called Brad's Untitled Restaurant Project, which is on Vimeo VOD. She also directed 3 monologues of the award-winning play The Vagina Monologues in Los Angeles. And then they have a great cast as well. Jason Gedrick, who was in Backdraft and Iron Eagle and Promised Land, as well as a lot of other projects as well. Deborah Farentino, who's in Earth 2 and Malice, Equal Justice, many other things as well. Dean Cameron, he was actually in the movie Summer School, which was a great film back in the 80s. In addition to that, they've also surrounded themselves with some really great musicians. Kitch Membry, Stephen James Wiley, Meredith Lockwood, Kevin So. So this is a series where they surround themselves with great people, talented people. So each of these series, they each found a way to build themselves up from scratch, to develop their series based on built-in audiences, common interests, surrounding themselves with the right people. And so definitely check them out. These are all on the festival circuit right now. They're also available online. Playdates Anonymous, Ephemera, and Trouble Creek. And also keep in mind that the Big Apple Film Festival web series and music video expo is coming up June 16th. If anybody has any questions or would like to submit a project, feel free to contact us, bigapplefilmfestival.com.